Hello, everyone. My name is Jacqueline with She Rises Studios, and welcome to today's Light the Torch ceremony. We are honored to celebrate the launch of Brighter Days. Five incredible Claudia Noriega-Bernstein, inner abundance coach, author, speaker, and champion for women to reclaim their power. Brighter Days is a heart-centered blend of memoir and transformational coaching written for every woman who ever asked, "What about me?" Through raw storytelling and practical tools, Claudia guides us from emotional exhaustion to inner abundance, reminding us that brighter days aren't just possible, they are waiting. So, Claudia, welcome and congratulations. How does it feel that finally we have launched Brighter Days into the world?
Oh, Jacqueline, thank you so much for having me here. This is such a project of love for me. I feel that it's important that every woman feels seen and acknowledged and worthy. And I didn't feel like that for many years.
Mm-hmm.
So it got to a point, especially when I got really sick. A few years ago, I started thinking, what's going to be my legacy? How can I continue making an impact and helping other
Mm-hmm.
women and also leave something behind for my daughters? That maybe at some point they feel they're in a fork in the road, or they feel they're stuck, or they're unmotivated, or they don't see a possibility. Sometimes we do little shortcuts, and we try to buy a program or do this or do that and try to have a fast fix. And there is a roadmap to get out of that place. And that's my gift to every woman who is feeling, I don't have a choice. I tried everything. Maybe this is just my life. I don't feel worthy of what I want, or I have to work to feel loved and accepted. Or the worst case scenario, I need to shrink to fit into what the world wants me to become
Mm-hmm.
in order to feel seen and worthy and acknowledged. And you don't. You are just worthy the way you are. You should embrace what's available for you and claim it. And to be
Mm-hmm.
able to do that, you got to be in that frequency. And so in this book, I share a little bit of my life, but I also share the lessons that I have learned in my journey that had empowered me to understand and believe that I too deserve to have a happy life.
Well, it seems like a very inspiring book, but before we go that, you call yourself an inner abundance coach. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself? Who really is Claudia, and what does what does that mean when you say connect? How do you connect your message through this particular book?
When you hear the word abundance, you think it's about a lot of something, right? And
Mm-hmm.
immediately our mind goes to things. But oftentimes we have a lot of things, we achieve a lot of goals, we have a great job, we have a lot of money, and we have the cars and the house and the purses and whatever it is that we want or we think we want, but we don't have what we need to feel happy. And that abundance is not something that you can buy in the store. It comes with
Mm-hmm.
it. And it took me a while to understand that. I was filling up the holes with things. One
Mm-hmm.
day I'm going to be happy when I buy this. I'm going to be happy when I have this job. I'm going to be happy when I live in this house. And even when I was blessed enough to achieve a lot of those material things, I was still feeling like something was missing. And I didn't really
Right.
understand what was that it was missing. And I started looking within. I started by acknowledging myself, by forgiving myself, because oftentimes
Mm-hmm.
we say yes to the world and no to us. We all want to be loved, we all want to be liked. So we start shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. But then we go home and we're up at night and we're thinking all the times that we disappointed ourselves, all the time that we became somebody that we are not to please this world that force us to be certain
Mhm.
way and lose our
Mhm.
authenticity. So when I work with women, especially moms, we go within. Where is this feeling of emptiness coming from? When is the first
Mhm.
time you felt it? And what is happiness to you? When do you feel happy? What are the things that you want, and what is that emotion attached to that thing? Because somebody likes a new car or wants a new car, it's not really the car, it's how you feel when you drive in that car. So when you
Mhm.
attach that feeling to the things that you want, you start finding out that all those emotions are inside of you and you can create them. You can be in your kitchen, no matter what size your house is or what size your kitchen is, and put a happy music and feel that joy right there because you're willing to receive that. You're willing to go to that frequency and claim what's meant for you.
That's wonderful. That's very insightful. Now, your book is a blend of personal storytelling and transformational tools. Why was it important for you to include both of them?
Because number one, I knew what it helped me to get out of the funk.
Mm.
And I thought it was important for the women that don't see the light at the end of the tunnel to have
Mhm.
something that they can read that is not just a lecture. There is a lot of books out there that lecture you. And in my experience, when I grab some of those books, there are some amazing books, by the way, but some others that are just, you need to do this, you need to do that, you should do this, you should do that. We start feeling like I'm not enough. I'm so messed
Mhm.
up. I've been doing everything wrong. That's not true. We do our best with what we have, with the capacity that we have to absorb whatever is happening around us. So, this book is written in a way that you see yourself in my shoes because when I wrote it, I saw myself in your shoes. And I share little stories and little anecdotes and little moments of my life that had impacted me and the lessons I learned from those moments. So if anybody feels, you know, I don't know what to do, or I don't know how to handle this, or I feel low, or I feel
Mhm.
just unworthy of a better life,
Mhm.
then they can pick up the book and with a sense of humor, with a witty way of saying things, with my accent sometimes, because my first language. But perfect doesn't exist. We thrive to be perfect. And perfect is not the answer. The answer is to
Mm.
be authentic, to be happy, to feel loved, and to feel seen. And if we all can accomplish that, imagine what an amazing moms will become and the ripple effect to our kids because we are billboard to them. When
Mhm.
your daughter or your son see you reaching your goals, making your dreams come true, regulating your emotion, expressing yourself, using your voice, standing for what you believe, you are a billboard for them. You are an example. And in that way, you change in the next generations. You're stopping that cycle in that generational download that we as adults already got since we were kids. So I see this book also as a tool for moms to start changing their narrative and start
Mhm.
becoming what they are meant to be and become what the world made them become.
It sounds to me like this particular book is your love letter to women
Yeah,
in midlife.
yeah.
Um, why do you why did you choose this particular demographic? Why is it important that we focus on the women out there, the moms out there, and why is it a love letter to them?
Well, listen, I started coaching teenagers many years
Oh,
ago. I have been coaching for 17 years, and my first clients were teenagers. And they were usually
Mm-hmm.
the friends of my daughters, because the moms will see my relationship with my kids, or they were inspired by my relationship with my girls. I was a single mom then, so they were like, wait a minute, if she can do it being a single mom, I want the secret. But they were not sometimes in the place to work on themselves. So they would send me
Mm-hmm.
their teenagers so I could fix them, right? And little by little, I started to understand that that kid was a reflection of her mom. So I
Mm-hmm.
started shifting my coaching into women. And then I went further to a more niche, and I started working with moms, because I mean, I have clients that are not moms. So they
Mm-hmm.
kind of become um, the nurturing example for themselves if they don't have kids, right? But I work with a lot of moms that complain a lot of things that are happening to them. And they call me sometimes and they said, I know what I want. And I said, you tell me what I want and I will give you what you need. And when we start working together, they things start to unfold and they start to realize a lot of things, and they become a different version of themselves, a different kind of
Mm-hmm.
mom, more open to listen to that kid, not so much to judge that kid, and yes, we all want to have the great kid, but we also have to give our kids grace. They are living this life
Mm-hmm.
for the first time, same as we are. So if we are allowed to make mistakes, if we are allowed to make a U-turn, why not have the same grace to them, with them? And
It's true.
that's pretty much what I work with, mom, because I see the ripple effect. And there's nothing that makes me happier than seeing somebody using her voice and being an example to that kid, to know not only that her mom is in her corner, but also that yes, it's possible. You can stand in your ground, be your authentic self. You don't have to please the world.
That's wonderful. Well, what is one thing that you hope every reader, whether they're a mother, a woman, maybe a teenager or a young professional, you hope every reader will walk away after finishing Brighter Days?
Hope. Hope that whatever situation or circumstances they are in can get better. There is a possibility. Even fixing your relationship with your ex-husband,
Mm,
overcoming limiting beliefs, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Start loving yourself. Start accepting yourself and not try to change yourself all the time to please the world. I would like people to have hope that it's possible. If it
mm,
was possible for me, it is possible for you. I'm now special girl. I am like every other mom out there, trying to do their best, trying to be present, trying to give
mhm,
herself a chance to make a difference in the life of their kids. And sometimes when we're overwhelmed, when we're not regulated, when we feel defeated, we don't see or make the best choices. So when somebody get my book, I hope they understand that women can be resilient, women can have courage, women can have a voice, and they are already enough. Their enoughness is there. You just have to tap on it.
wonderful. Well, this is very exciting. I'm sure a lot of women, mothers, will be touched by your book. What's next for you? Are you working on more books? Any workshops, retreats? And how can people connect with you?
You can connect with me through my website, which has my name, Claudia Noriega-Bernstein, or my Instagram, which is the same. I do retreats twice a year at the
Mm,
spring and fall. I am in the process of writing a parenting book. I have a few speaking events, through the years, so they can see what's coming on my website. But I love to be at service. I love to be there for the moms and for the women that need that little push to become what they are meant to be.
That's great. Well, Claudia, this book is such a gift. As we close, what would you like to say directly to the woman who feels lost, exhausted, and like she's running out of time?
I would tell her, start by giving yourself grace.
Hmm.
Pause. Just pause for a minute. Regroup. We don't have to answer all the texts. We don't have to answer all the phone calls. We are a priority. That burnt
Hmm.
toast is from the 1950s. You don't you don't have to eat the burnt toast. That doesn't make you a better mom. And by you making yourself a priority and putting yourself first, you are an example to your kids to take care of themselves, to nourish themselves, and to love themselves just the way they are.
That's great. That's awesome to hear. Well, thank you so much, Claudia, for pouring your heart into this particular book and lighting the way for women to heal, grow, and shine again. Brighter Days is a book of self love, truth, and freedom. So, to everyone that's tuning in, Brighter Days is now available in ebook format on Amazon. So if you're ready
Mhm.
to stop shrinking and start fully living, this is your invitation. Go ahead and grab your copy right now. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Claudia. And I hope everybody has a brighter day ahead.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.